cher Denis. First, let me to tell you that I am very happy to be at your side in Norfolk, in your Innovation Hub. We are here together to prepare for the SEO conference on cybersecurity in Bordeaux in March. And it's clear that we are today in a techno-dominant environment. But from my perspective, the importance of the human dimension in cyber, in artificial intelligence, in situ, command and control, is not well enough considered. I propose to set up a double dual approach to cyber that recognizes both the civilian military dimension of the problem and the hard science, social sciences, pairing. And in this regard, I would like to have your opinion about these pairings and the perspective to have on cybersecurity, cyber dominance, and cyber challenges. I would like you to present your opinion on first, what do we stand today? Second, for you, what is your vision of the future? And third, what role can we play to construct this future together with NATO and the nation of the alliance?
Merci Bernard, thank you very much. I'm very happy that we could have this discussion together here in Norfolk. And your questions are the good questions. I think that we will talk about the importance of the human first in our technology and in cyber domain. Last year in Warsaw, it was decided that cyber would be recognized as a domain as is land, sea, air and space. This is now a huge task for us to develop and to implement this decision. In my headquarters, we put a strong emphasis on command and control. Command and control is nothing more than decision making. And in decision making, we will rely more and more on technological issues, and artificial intelligence, and autonomous systems. But the key issue will be human first. And we have really a focus area in our headquarters regarding the outcomes, which is related to the human capital, and this is absolutely essential. But as you mentioned, in this domain, we cannot work alone. It's very important that we partner, and I'm very pleased that we start a huge partnership with the Cognitics Engineering School in Bordeaux, and we will continue to do that with many other universities and research centers in both sides of the Atlantic, in US and in Europe, because cyber has no border, cyber has no limits, and we need to work on this issue together with a wide range of people, and especially I'm very keen to continuously engage our young people and students in this issue.
And first, what at stake? Where do we stand today? Clearly, if we were just observers, what are the cybersecurity trends you would affect the world peace and globally the global security of the
world? We see that either in the military and the civilian domain, we face daily cyber attacks, and so the cyber domain is really something that is a huge priority for all of our nations, whether it is in public affairs or in the private sectors. The key issue is where do we stand today? We see many organizations growing up, and I see many nations organizing themselves to deal with this issue. One of the first questions is, because I mentioned there is no border, one of the first questions is how we define standards that enable us to work together. And that's absolutely important, that we define, we share this cyber culture, and when we have to deal with, let's say, people even on the other side of the earth, we need to be sure that we understand ourselves when we deal with this issue. So there is a huge importance that we share these standards. The future will be more networked, so we will rely on network, and this network will federate many different entities. So when we say we rely on network, we think that one of the main threats is a cyber threat. But the key question is not technology. The key question is how we enable our decision makers to collect the necessary data, to distribute the data, to distribute the responsibilities, and how we give them the clear understanding on how they can rely on the networks. So everything should be organized around human first, and this is not technology driven. This is really driven by the architecture we want in order to make decisions and to distribute this decision. That's the main goal and the main objective for the cyber domain.
In this dimension, the human dimension, do you think there is a difference between people dimension and individual dimensions in the cyber security?
There are many, for me, many challenges and domains regarding the cyber domain. The first one is what I talked about, is decision making, how we give the decision makers a clear picture on the reliance on the networks, how they know, how they can rely on the data they receive and the data they will transmit. That's the first point. But regarding specifically this question, which what we call in the information operation domain, that's another key question. And we see that cyber is absolutely interrelated with the information and disinformation. And again, whatever it is on the military and the civilian side, we expect to have a huge challenge, competition in the information operation domain, which means that people will try to make disinformation and will try to counter that. And so this will affect the individuals. And the key question is, if you want to play in this field and give disinformation, you will have to try to deny your opponent to use the networks in order to counter your disinformation or information. So the cyber, again, is not cyber for the sake of cyber. We do cyber to achieve an objective, and in this information domain, cyber domain is absolutely linked to how we try to disseminate the information. Speaking frankly, my view is we have declared cyber as a domain. It is one, but the broader domain in the information operation domain, that includes cyber, but not only. And that's and more we see that we see that today affecting our life, affecting the electoral processes, affecting the way we transmit the information all around the world. The key question when you have a cyber attack is to look at the target, what has been attacked, and on the effect, what is the damage. And your reaction should be based on the target and the effect, and not on the cyber issue. Mm-hmm. If you have a kinetic attack, you will not focus on the bomb or on the means to deliver the effect. You will focus on the target and the effect. And on the cyber sector, this is the same. And that's very important, even for the private sector. So we need to cultivate and we need to develop this human aspect, because we have probably forgotten it.
Regarding the very large concept of cyber from technology to human dimension, spanning from collective system to individuals, how can we mobilize scientists and engineers, and beyond their sponsor, and overall the younger generation, and particularly my students?
When we have a problem, we need to avoid going to the solution directly, as we did sometimes before. What I mean by that is, we have a problem, we need to analyze the problem, and we have to look at the different options, and the different options will lead to different architectures. When I say different architectures, there are physical architectures, but there are human architectures as well. That means that we have so many parameters to deal with. We need to be sure that in the analysis of the problem, we look at all the competencies that are needed in order to solve this problem. We develop the cyber domain because we want to protect ourselves from complex attacks that could affect our networks and again our decision-making process. And in this field, as we mentioned, there is a technical dimension, but more importantly, there is a human dimension. If we think that we will develop the cyber domain and implement it only on the scientific technological domain, we are wrong. We need absolutely to associate the scientists able to deal with this technological issue with people that are specialists in the cognitive area. And so there are many ways to do that. First thing is we need to develop the research in this area. That's essential. The more we have artificial intelligence systems, the more we will use autonomous systems. We will combine remotely piloted vehicles with human piloted vehicles, and we will associate all these things all together with a huge emphasis of the human-machine interfaces. We will need to associate technology and the human side. So to do that, we need to put people all together. That's the best way to do that, with different competencies. We need to make research in the human domain. That's essential. And I'm very convinced that for those scientists who are working on this domain, they need to have at least a basic formation on cognitives. Yeah. This is why we need to finance research. We need to engage all these schools, academia, research centers that are able to deal with this system and tell them this is absolutely important that you are associated with the development on with the technological development. If we do not do that, what will happen? What will happen is it will be technology driven. We will develop more deep learning machines. We will develop more autonomous systems. And finally, we will have systems and we will ask ourselves, who is making the decision here? Is it the machine? No. What we need to do is to continuously understand where is the place of humans in these networks, and when we exercise cyber issue, we need to think about it first, and we need experts, and we probably are lacking experts in this domain, and this is the case for my headquarters. So we need to find where are the aspects, and we need to train them. And we need to be sure that we have young people who invest this field, because we need those guys. And they are even more important than the others sometimes. So that's absolutely essential.
Thank you very much, Mon Général, for this discussion and for the perspective you are open for the future.
Merci. Thank you very much. And I know that now you will discuss the human factors in command and control architectures, complex architectures, and that's very important that we continue to have this kind of discussion. We continue to have these seminars in order to develop this key aspect of the cyber domain, which is the human dimension. I wish you all the best for this, and I look forward to really a huge interaction with my headquarters, who is very interesting in the outcomes of your seminar.